Welcome to Glowing Success. My name is Heidi and I am your host. This podcast is for beauty entrepreneurs. Join me weekly as we dive into the beauty industry's ins and outs, from business strategies, top-selling services, and taboo topics. I will be interviewing industry leaders with empowering stories and game-changing insights. Let's illuminate your path to success together. Let's jump into this next episode. Today is the very last day of 2025, and I want to share with you my predictions going into 2026, okay? So this is going to be especially true if you are a service provider, a beauty professional, or just someone who's building a personal brand this coming year. And I want to preface with, this is not going to be a do more, post more, hustle harder type episode. That is not what I'm about. It's actually kind of the opposite. The biggest shift I'm seeing is people are craving more connection. My first prediction for 2026 is going to be realness over polished content. So people are tired of overly polished videos. I know I am. Tired of perfect captions that just feel like AI. Tired of ads that feel like ads. You know, with AI everywhere and ads constantly being pushed at us, people can feel that something isn't real. I know when AI is happening, and I'm sure you do too, what's going to stand out is you, okay? Your voice, your face, your opinions, your story, messy videos. So I'm talking about you talking to the camera in your car or explaining something the way you would to a client that's in your room or your treatment room. But that's really essentially connection marketing. And this is exactly why I actually created my 2026 client connection formula guide. It's a free guide, and I put it together to help you, kind of simplify your marketing and focus on what actually matters going into 2026 is building that real connection, not just chasing trends all the time. If you've been wondering, what to post, how to talk about what you do without sounding salesy, or how to attract clients without burning yourself out, because I know we've been hearing a lot about that, especially in the service industry, this guide will walk you through how to get clear, how to connect authentically, and how to show up as, the face of your brand in a way that feels doable. So even for people who are shy, you can download it for free. Just check the link in the show notes here. So you can just click on it. It'll bring you to a page where you share your email and your name. And then in that email I send you will be your free guide. Okay, so that's my first prediction, is connection is going to be everything, okay? Prediction number 2 is being the face of your brand will almost be non-negotiable. So I'm really speaking to service providers. I'm really speaking to beauty professionals, those types of businesses. But people are being a lot more intentional with who they choose, right? So who they choose to do their service, who they choose to spend their money on. So budgets are tighter. People are definitely on a tighter budget than they've ever been on, okay? But people are still spending money, so I don't want you to be scared by that. And then time feels a little bit limited because of that. And honestly, emotional capacity plays a role in this, right? People have a little bit lower emotional capacity because things are so stressful. So we're going to be more intentional with how we're spending that money and that time. People don't want to waste their money, right? I don't want to waste my money. I don't want to waste my energy. I don't want to waste my time guessing if a business is the right fit. You know what I mean? So people are going to be looking for that information right away. So before they book and before they commit, they're going to be asking themselves, do I trust this person? Do I feel safe with this person? Do I feel understood by this person? And that's really important to remember. And that's why, honestly, being the face of your brand, I feel like matters the most. And I've seen this in really impactful ways. When my clients start showing up in their marketing, really amazing things start happening because your clients connect with you faster. So when they can see you, hear you talk, explain things, share your values, it removes some of that friction that they had originally, and they don't necessarily feel like they're taking as big of a risk anymore, okay? So in 2026, clients, they're not going to choose maybe the cheapest, lowest service. They're not going to choose somebody maybe very, very quickly anymore. They're going to choose that person who makes them feel like they're aligned with them, they're familiar, and they're probably going to choose somebody that feels more human. You know what I mean? And when I say this, I don't want you to think that you need to be everywhere on every social media front. You just need to be visible in a way that builds trust and where you can consistently show up, okay? Okay, let's move on to prediction number 3. It is going to be in-person events are making a comeback. And I'm really excited about this because I built my spa through in-person connections quite a bit because the social media front wasn't as popular in those times. But I feel like because social media is kind of taken over, people are kind of craving that in-person connection again, which I'm really excited about. So this will be like workshops or like open houses or like small group trainings or community meetups or like pop-up events. Because honestly, after years of everything being online, especially right after COVID, people want to be in the same room now. They want to have those real conversations. They want to feel that energy exchange again. And we as service providers know what that energy exchange feels like because we get that often. But clients, sometimes if their job or if their life doesn't have them in people, meeting people a lot or being around people a lot, they're missing that connection. So we have to think about that. And here's the really cool part of I love about in-person connection is it builds that loyalty really fast. So if somebody meets you in real life, even once, even a quick interaction, let's say, you're no longer just like an Instagram account or somebody they heard about or a TikTok account. You're actually a real human, and that builds trust much faster and much more powerfully. Okay, so prediction number 4, we're just moving right along, is carousels will outperform reels. So this prediction isn't just coming from me. I agree with it, but it's not just coming from me. I listen to a podcast pretty regularly. It's called Build Your Tribe, and it's with Brock Johnson. He talks a lot about social media marketing, and he just shares a lot of marketing tips out there. The reason I agree with him is because people are slowing down and becoming a little bit more intentional with what they consume on social media, and carousels allow you to do that. So they allow you to kind of pause, read, process, feel, because if you don't know what a carousel is, essentially it's like a multi-page post. So it allows the person to scroll through that post however they want. I know a lot of times I've had a lot of carousel posts where like somebody will share like the 3rd page in the post with me. So, it's something that people can really pause and they can be a little bit more informational with. So it's not just about entertainment. These are actually, if you think about carousels as like conversation starters. Now, don't get me wrong. Reels are always going to have a place because reels are actually what attracts new people to your page, new eyes to your content. But carousels are where like the education, the storytelling, the trust building is going to really live. And there where somebody can think, like, hey, this person gets me, or I really resonate with this, or I really align with this, or this is something I've been dealing with, because they're able to read it and slow down and do things. So when someone saves a carousel, that's going to be true connection right there, So if you're someone who feels like a little bit more comfortable teaching, explaining, or like breaking things down, for instance, carousels are going to be your best friend in 2026. If I were starting fresh with my marketing, if I were refining my marketing for 2026, which I always am refining my marketing plan myself, this is what I would focus on, you guys, is real, unpolished content. So I'm not saying don't edit your content and things like that, but I'm saying don't make it too polished. That connection piece needs to be there, and that's what's going to build trust the fastest. Being the face of your brand. So if you have been a little bit more shy about being in front of the camera, this is your opportunity to start working on that, because people are choosing intentionally right now. So they are choosing who and where to spend their money and time and their energy. And then showing up in person. So going to some networking events, going to some events that people are hosting, or even having your own events. I promise you, people are wanting events. And then using carousels a little bit more intentionally. So, get that education, get that trust building, tell stories, and then help people feel understood. Okay. I will say likes and followers might get you seen and might get people to your page, especially with social media, but connection is what gets people to book. So, what gets people to book offline? So, if you've been feeling a little burnt out on social media, which we all kind of have, especially this time of year, or even overwhelmed by AI, seeing it everywhere, or just unsure how to stand out, this is your sign. Go and download my free guide. It's in the show notes. I promise you, you're going to love it. And of course, if this episode resonates with you, I really want you to share it with someone who needs to hear it as well. Okay. This is about connection, right? And I, of course, will see you next week. And thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you did, I'd love for you to leave a review. It really helps more people find the show. And if you know someone who'd also enjoy it, share it with them or tag me on Instagram so I can thank you. New episodes come out every week, so be sure to subscribe so you never miss one. See you next time.